Hey Jessica, this is Miss Smith, your English 165 instructor, and I want to offer you feedback on the key sections that you submitted of the semi-formal report. Now, I will say that I am not looking at these sections that you've submitted to grade them. Um, so therefore I'm not looking at grammar in any detail, and I'm also not looking very closely at content. But I want to make sure that you're on the right track. And I also want to check for any issues with plagiarism, because of course a plagiarism issue could derail your entire report. And I don't want that to happen, right? I know you don't want that to happen. And so hopefully this video will be helpful. In this review will be helpful for you. Okay. And so I see that you've started with your abstract section. That's good. And just looking over it really quickly, it looks like you have the right structure. You provide an overview in the first paragraph. You tell me what you did to complete the report in the second paragraph, and then you include your recommendations in the third paragraph. So very good job with that. I will say that while your text size is good, you're using a 12 point font, 11 or 12 point is ideal. Your headings seem really large, almost too large for your text. So I'm usually having to tell students to make their headings larger, but in this case I think maybe you could go down a size. And so let's see, right now I think you're at a 36 if I'm correct, and this is only a 12. And so I would say that maybe you can take this down to maybe even a 30, right? Just kind of go down 6 point sizes, and let's see what that does. You know, that's a little bit better. It's not as top heavy for that heading. You could take it down a little bit further if you want to. So if you were to go down to, let's say, a 28, even that still looks good. It makes it clear that this is a major heading. It is dominant, but it's not too strong, too heavy over the text. Okay, so I would suggest with each of your major headings, go ahead and consistently reduce the size of those major headings. Um, let's see, so that's the abstract section. Your introduction looks good. With the purpose statement section, that looks good. Your industry background. Um, now, the issue with your industry background is that your in-text citation is incorrect. And so we'll come back to that in a moment, but before we get to that part, let's take a look at your table. Your table does look good, and it looks like you've done everything 70% or higher. Now, one thing I would say, and I would say this also for all sections throughout your report, what you want to do is single space your sections. You don't want to double space these, because in the workplace it is more efficient to single space your communication. So throughout your report, everything that is set to double space, go ahead and put it down to single space. Okay? And so it should look like that, right? Instead of being double spaced. And so with that being said, you should then be able to get all of your introduction onto one page. Now, if you've been hitting return to get from page to start sections, you want to put your cursor before the word of that is your heading, before the start of your heading. And then you want to go to insert, and you want to insert a page break. And what that will do is it will automatically stop your current page and put you onto another page with that new text. Okay, and so that's what you want to do. And so again, you want to go back through and you want to reduce the size of that font. Let's take a look, since we're on here now, a quick look at the references page, because your in-text citation is incorrect. And when I looked over it a moment ago, I saw that your full citation is incorrect. Okay, and so this is not the correct way to do your citations for ONET. And I don't know if you used maybe Microsoft Word to do the citations for you, but that's why I don't recommend that students use that, because they can get the citations wrong, and that could prove to be a plagiarism issue for you. So remember what I said in in my video that the ONET citation is the easiest one because it does it for you. So there's no reason for that citation to be incorrect. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to look at one I'd already looked at before. Let's say I'm looking at human resources, okay, just for an example, and I'm searching for that career field. Let's say I go to human resources specialist. You, of course, will put in whatever keywords that you've used, but let's just say that's what I'm looking for. At the very bottom of the page, under the social media icons, you have a link here that says cite this page at the very bottom. Click on that and voila, it gives you the full citation for your MLA. Okay, and so I'm just going to copy that and now go back to your document, and this then would be your correct full citation. It comes in a little bit small, but that's your correct full citation, not what you currently have. Let me make that a little bit bigger so that it's easier to see. Okay, and so that's what you're aiming for. Okay, not what you currently have. So therefore your in-text citation would be this set of numbers, right? Or what you can do is if you go back to your ONET page, and if you go to the very top, you'll notice that that same set of numbers is here, and it is attached to this career field, Human Resources Specialist. So what that means is that within the ONET system, they categorize everything by these set of numbers. But there's also a title given to each of the industries, each of the career fields. And so what you can do then is go back to your Works Cited page, and instead of using the set of numbers, you can just type here Human Resources Specialist instead of that set of numbers. If you choose to do that, then your in-text citation would be human or human resources or human resources specialist. Okay? Keep in mind that your full citation is on your references page. Your in-text citation should match the very beginning of your full citation. Okay, and so hopefully that was clear. This interview citation looks correct. You do want to adjust the spacing here. This citation here for Child Care Center is not correct. Again, I've already said to not use, recommended to not use the citations that are done for you because they tend to not be correct. It's an easy way out, but it's not a correct way, and you can run into these types of problems. So instead, refer to your book. It's somewhere in between pages 355 and 365 where you have that documentation guide, and it includes examples of full citations for MLA and APA format. And so you want to look under the category that says websites and use that guide to help you to create a website full citation for this website address. Okay, but retrieved from Child Care Center, blah blah blah, that's not MLA format, that's a different format, so you definitely want to make sure you put that in MLA format. And so now that that is said, you also then want to make sure that you include source information at the bottom of your graph. So this information comes from ONET. So at the bottom here you want to put source, colon, and then the in-text citation that you're using for ONET. And here you want to fix this citation because this is incorrect. So remember, you want to use the correct ONET citation, and the in-text citation for ONET would be different from what you have. Okay? All right. Make sure you go back and check that the correctness of this first one, and that will determine if your in-text citation is correct. Okay? All right. So in the discussion section, I see that you're using the subheadings that I provided, and that's good. And I see you have an in-text citation here for Williams, Amy. This is correct based on your full citation. Let's see. Again, you want to make sure that you single space your report. There can be two spaces between paragraphs, but within the paragraphs you want to single space. So that may mean that you're not quite getting to 2 pages whenever you make that adjustment. So I would say to you to make sure that you are incorporating what you have. So incorporate um, your information from that website, from that childcare website. If there's information that they have um, that you feel like could be relevant in your report, find a way to work it in or create another section for it about this industry or about this career, about this workplace, something like that. And then you can talk about the information that you've received from that child care source. So that should buy you some more time, some more space, some more room on your page to help you get to that minimum of 2 pages. Does that make sense? And so you can do that. And also, one thing you can do is see if there's a website for Palmetto Kids. And so if there is, then you can use that in place of the childcare one or in addition to it. It's fine if you have 4 sources. That's perfectly fine. You just needed a minimum of 3. And so that could also help you by including the um, Palmetto Kids website information, like their mission statement, their vision, the history of the company, if they have all of that on a website. Then if you incorporate that in your own words into your report and then put the in-text citation there, that also allows you to use more room on the page. But you have to have a minimum of 2 pages of text, no graphic or anything included in that discussion section. In that page count, only 2 pages of text. Okay. And so hopefully that makes sense. We've already talked about the references page. And so if you have questions, Jessica, I hope that you will get in touch with me. I look forward to answering them for you. You are off to a good start. You've done some really good work. I can tell you've worked hard on it. And so don't be discouraged by the feedback that I've given you. But I wanted to just make sure that I'm setting you up to be successful. So if you have questions about anything I've said or if anything is unclear, then please contact me and I'll be happy to provide you directions so that when we get to this final draft deadline, you could be submitting your best possible work. Okay? All right. Take care and I'll talk with you again soon.